YouTube world. This is Montague with Montague Travels. I'm wearing my Libra shirt for shouting out for Libras. I'm going to let people know on Facebook that I'm also going live and wanted to let you guys know a couple of things. Live on YouTube right now. This is my first YouTube live video. I just got it installed, wanted to try it out, and boom, done. So, I wanted to go over a few things. Yeah, I'm at home. I'm going to show you guys the workspace. So, Netflix, the infamous 3-screen computer, which is also connected to Netflix right now, the Akira poster, the super awesome Macross stuff, but time for some Q&A time. So, I'm going to be reading questions from email and the general top 10 questions that I've been keeping track of. So, question number 1, why Japan? I used to live in Japan. My father, who was in the Air Force, was stationed in Okinawa, Japan. So, from age 3 to age 7, that was my hangout spot. I loved all aspects of Okinawa, never got to go to the mainland. So, 2017, this summer, I went back for 54 days for $8,000. But leading up to that, I'm going to go ahead and let people know that life is great because in 2005 I was on the JET program, and people were always asking me, so JET program, what do you do on JET? And I said that's a whole nother conversation. What you need to know about me in the JET program is that, one, I taught in Japan. Two, I was living in San Antonio Sister City, which is Kumamoto City in Fukuoka, not Fukuoka, but in Kyushu, southern Japan. And I lived there for 2 years. Taught there, made some great relationships, and I always wanted to go back. So, with family support and a small group of investors, I was able to go back to go research my business and learn more about Japan. So, with that being said, that's why Japan. I've always had a passionate love affair of Asia, always had a passionate love affair of what was going on, and always wanted to go back. And people have always asked, so what made you start a business? When I was planning my wedding in 2012, my father-in-law, now my other dad, said that will be he'd be willing to pay for the honeymoon. Just call around and get a quote. And I already know that you can get plane tickets to Japan for just under $2,000, depending on what city in the United States you're flying out of, which is amazing in and of itself. And what happened was I called around to several elite and 3-star travel agencies, and every package started off at like $9,000, including airfare, not including airfare to go to Japan, from anywhere from 7 to 14 days. And I said, that's insane. And the lady's like, well, do you speak Japanese? Yeah, I lived in Japan for a total of 6 years. I have a familiarity with the language. I understand the cultural norms and what to expect. I also know how to get from city to city. None of these quotes included travel insurance. None of these quotes included flights. None of the trips included a rail pass. And you're always with someone. And I said, no, I don't want to hold hands with anyone on a trip. If I'm going for me and my wife, I don't want to be attached to a group. I want to go freely explore. So it was like, what's really going on? Why do I have to pay so much money? So, in short, and everything that went down, if you have any comments, feel free to like, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing new video, new content soon. The number one thing is likes. I don't have a whole ton of likes, but I just want to let people know what's going on. If you're just tuning in, I'm going over questions and answers, and I'm looking at my email right now, going over the top 10 questions about Japan. So, second most frequent question, I guess, is why is my price either too cheap or too expensive? We're going to go with too cheap first. One, I do not operate out of a office. I operate out of a home office, which I am working on finishing setting up. I also don't have to pay an exorbitant amount of rent just to own a building that might not be in operation for more than 9 to 10 hours a day. I don't have to pay any other staff. It's me and my wife working this business. Um, I can consult with people when I need tax advice or legal advice and keep my prices cheaper. In short, what you're paying me is part of the trip, regardless of where it is or where you're going, is that if you're not going with me to Japan, but you're going on one of my packages that I offer you, you are not paying a membership fee, you're not paying an exclusivity fee, you're not paying me extra overhead so I can afford a Mercedes. No. You're paying me for my time, research, getting you your invoices and tickets, putting them together, giving you a digital planner. If you want one, please send me a message. I'll send you my 2018 planner as well as my 2017 one. And getting you from point A to point B. From your front door, airport, wherever city you're in, to where you want to be and back. I'm not charging more than 8 to 15% of your entire package. So, for example, the trip to Japan going in the spring, for 1 week, you're paying me roughly $1,000, and that's $800 before the trip gets off the ground to plan out everything to get you from whatever city you're in the United States or globally to where you want to be in the world. Next, you are getting a personal daily itinerary. For example, trips run from 9:15. Meetup time is always going to be roughly 8:30, 8:45 to 9:15. We catch the first bus, train wherever we're going, and then we're off to our schedule. So, for example, in Tokyo, when we get to our hotel in Akihabara, the first night you're on your own. I'm going to go find something to eat. You can join me. You can go have your own adventure. The next morning at 9:15, I'm leaving the hotel lobby. We're going to activate your rail pass, activate anything else we need to pick up, including your pocket Wi-Fi, and then we're off on our adventure. The money that you're paying me for your services, that $800, covers that. The tour guide fee is anything extra on top of the trip. So that means for the first week out of 7 days, 5 days is included in your fees. The 2 other days, if you need me to stop what I'm doing to help you plan out your private day, your free day, then I go ahead and pay for that within the money you've already paid for me. That pays for that time. The only other things you're paying for as part of your travel package, flights. Booking out of my hometown of San Antonio, flights are running anywhere from $1,400 all the way up to $2,200 to Japan, and you're not guaranteed to get there within 24 hours. We're talking 36, 30, 24, 28, 32, or even 3 days later, depending on how they route you through Canada, through the Midwest, if they fly you backwards to Houston, or they fly to New York and back out. I skip the middleman and I go straight to the 3 closest airports on the West Coast, and then we fly out to Japan. Done. So yeah, that means you do have to go through security twice. I recommend getting a TSA known traveler number. That way you can just bypass security and just get through the airport hassle. That's not included in my package. It's up to you to do on your own. But I will put a description in the next video so you can get your TSA, find places in the city to do TSA known traveler numbers. Rail pass. I'm not charging you extra for your rail pass. I literally, when you pay me the money, order it. It can either go to your house before you leave the country, or you can pick it up at your hotel. I recommend sending it to your hotel, have it waiting on you there. That way you don't have that chance of losing it. Someone almost lost their rail pass. We're not going to go into names on the summer trip. Past that, your pocket Wi-Fi. My mistake from this trip this summer was, I thought my phone, because I was going to get a SIM card, would work. Found out American cell phone carriers have locks on your phone. Once you leave the country, your system locks up to minimal functions over Wi-Fi. That's it. So this time around, everyone gets a pocket Wi-Fi. That means if you go off by yourself, turn it on. You need to ask questions. You need to get a hold of me. You can. Boom. Now, other than that, sorry, I need to get a stand for my tablet. All hotels that are in the package are under $180 a night. When I was planning this out, I made sure that I let everyone know that the average hotel a night for 3 to 5 stars in Japan, if you book it early enough, is $180. So going into the next most asked questions, why are the hotels so expensive? It's not about the hotels being expensive. It's about the experience that you want. If you don't want to pay full price for a hotel, you don't have to. Meaning that I go through vendors lists and all the other websites that I use to book hotels and find you the best possible price for your budget. So to answer another part of the question, why it's so expensive, my travel package, which again is your flights, rail pass, hotel, and everything you need, is just about $1,800 on an average, if not $2,000. That's just the cost of getting out of the United States and getting you physically in the country of Japan. So with that being said, you can do hotels as cheap as $25, $35 a night, where you're in hostels, large group facility rooms, what have you, whatnot, all the way up to the 5-star luxury resort that's averaging at $800 a night. It's on you. So if you're wondering how much I make, my fees are set. You're paying for your research and planning, and then you're paying for me being there to translate. I'm not making anything else. I make $5 a night on hotels if it's over $200. It's really chump change. Flights, I make nothing on flights. $7 or $8. So that's where we're at. That's what's going on. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment, post them in the video, and I'll be more than happy to answer anything that pops up on the screen. I notice I got one like. I don't see any comments yet, but hey, for those of you that stuck with me for the first 12 minutes, greatly appreciate it. Brad Thomas, thanks, man. I appreciate the like and a comment through Facebook. So the score with this trip to Japan in 2018 is that I have two. I have a cherry blossom run, and I have a summer run. Cherry blossom run is March 25th to April 9th. Summer trip is June 26th to July 18th. If you want to pay for the extra night, July 19th. And those are the two trips I'm offering. The spring trip is contingent on everyone for spring, making sure that everyone's paid out before January 15th. Or by at least February 15th. That way I can secure all of our hotels, onsens, and ryokans at the price that I quoted. If not, anyone booking after February 15th, of course, there's going to be a late fee to adjust for what's going on with the cost of the trip, cost of the hotels and venues. Next most commonly asked question is, why can't I get a day-to-day plan? This comes from people in San Antonio, Chicago, and New York. Hi. My average tour group and the size that I cap off at is 14. So that means that myself, I am one tour guide, one travel agent, one booking agent, and one person doing 3 jobs. So when I have a group that's 14 people, I have 14 people that may not eat fish, may not speak Japanese, may not know how to use chopsticks, may not know their way around Japan. So what happens is that the reason why I don't do a day-to-day itinerary is that things happen. I have times where people didn't show up for the tour, they're retired, they want to stay in a hotel room and just mosey around a hotel. I had people that booked the cheapest hotel they could find, and then we couldn't connect by the time it was time to go to the next venue. It happens. So the reason why I do blocks is that, okay, for example, in Kobe, we're going to the Kobe Sanomiya Super Shopping Arcade. That's 2 square miles, over 8 to 12 floors of various music, shopping, anime, video games, movies, electronics, clothes, purses, bags, furniture, whatever you can want to find is in the San Omega Shopping Center. So we did a block for um, 4 hours. That included lunch on your own. That's why. That way I don't have to be stuck and trying to make sure everyone's happy at one point. We can have central meeting locations, which I do. You can do everything you need to get caught up with people, and it'll work out beautifully. It just depends on your timing and your flexibility. So, next part of why the trips are so expensive. If you think my trips are expensive, I'll show you my prices and then get someone in your area to beat my prices. So, my spring trip for 2 weeks is $5,500 for two people, including your flights, hotels, train passes, and your travel insurance. In Tokyo, Hiroshima, Fukuoka, and Kobe, and then back to Tokyo. And Hiroshima is a solo 2-day adventure if you want to go, which I can help you book as part of the package. And you're not going to pay maybe about $100 more if you want to go to Hiroshima during cherry blossom season. So with that being said, a lot of people recently, I've had over 7 quote requests and conversations on Facebook. Clarification: if you're asking questions about the trip and you're asking questions about the digital planner, that is free. The second you cross over into, well, I want a quote or I want to know what we're doing day to day, pay the deposit. Seriously, just pay the deposit. And then it'll be included in your price. No, my deposit is not refundable because that's the time it takes for me to find all the plane tickets, find all the hotels, make sure they have room for up to 14 people, or if they don't have room for 14 people, they have room for at least half of the group, and then I have to find another hotel or venue to accommodate everyone else. Being a small business, I'm doing this on my own time. So pay me for my time. The next issue becomes coordinating everyone's food. I was trying to plan around food plans at hotels or local restaurants. I gave up. With all of the different health issues related to nutrition in the United States and people being gluten free or they can't be around wheat or flour, I said, you know what? Here's a link to Japanese cuisine, how it's prepared, what may or may not be in it. There you go. And we rolled with it like that. So you're on your own. I don't eat fish, so I'm not going to really go to a sushi restaurant, but I'll go to restaurants that have a variety of offerings, so that way if you want me to be a part of the dinner experience or you want to do dinner on your own, it's on that level. So with that being said, I want to conclude this video at the 20-minute mark. Those are the top 5 questions asked. I'm sorry, I'm lying. I haven't hit number 5. Number 5 is, what are we doing? And why do I want to go to Japan? My trip is designed to cater for people. It's your first time in Asia. You're a toy collector. You're an anime lover. You are a foodie. You are a photographer. You want to check investments, or you want to possibly conduct business in Japan. That's what this trip is about. So when you make your deposit, I'm going to send you a questionnaire. Questionnaire is going to ask you some generic questions. Why you want to go to Japan? What are you looking to do? So with that being said, once you pick a deposit, email me and whatnot. I plan around you. So you'll get a personalized daily itinerary of what is in your interest group and what may not be in your interest group, but where the majority of the group is going. And it's up to you. Regardless if you show up or not, you pay for my services. And that's the best way to explain it. So this has been Javon Montague, Montague Travel. Just wanted you guys to check me out. See who I am, see who runs the business, see who you're traveling with. Yes, this hat I got in Japan. and I'm going to rock it till the wheels fall off. Have a beautiful and blessed Black Shirt Friday.